Right, I thought what I would do is just to show a little introduction into the beginner's course project 1, and just showing how I would have a little setup before you start, because there's a few little tips that will just really help. How I find that if I'm right-handed, so I have my paints, my paint pot, which is really important, all at this side. And I find that by doing that, I'm not going, if I have my paint pot over here, that I'm going across the paper and the painting to get the paint. So little things like having a setup before you start is brilliant. So I've got some clean water in my pot. I've got that just there. And I've cleaned up my watercolours, and this is cleaned up. To clean them up, I just tend to take them and put them under the tap, give them a good wipe off. If I get, say, some blue onto some yellow, I just clean it up, and then I just squeeze out some more paint into each of these little holders, and that's how I tend to work. And I mix the colours on each of these little palettes, or you can mix them, if you haven't got a palette like this, you can mix them just on china plates. I have also seen people mixing on silver Yorkshire pudding containers, you know, the 12 little or the 9. I personally would go for something white so you can see your colours. So you've got your palette, you've got your paints all nice and ready, and if you need to ever freshen them up, I just have a little water spray like this, which I've got from, I think I picked it up from Boots, just with water, and I just give my paints a little refresh of water. So that is all that I have. I also tend to just have something like an old tea towel, and I put that underneath my paints, and if I've got some excess paint, or I'm doing something like a bit of dry brushing, then I can just take off the paint on the tea towel or the bit of cloth, and it just stops having too much paint at times. So it's little tips like this to start. So with the beginner's course, on with all the courses, my online courses, but the beginner's course, we start off with a misty morning Derwentwater, and this is the sketch that you get, and you don't have to do it the same size. You can do it whatever size you want, whatever you work to, and I don't like to think of people tracing, because I think we should all really be able to sketch. And I've done quite a simple sort of sketch of just a few little shapes of mountains, and you've got a horizon line and these posts in the front, and there's a few little tips just to go along with. So when you're sketching, I tend to use a 2B pencil, so this is 2B, and another little thing, have it nice and sharp, because a sharpened pencil makes quite a difference to a blunt pencil. So sharpen your pencil, get all your equipment ready, and then you're raring to go. And what I probably would do when I was doing this sketch, I might have started, and I don't mind using a ruler, or as you can see, I have a little bit of old skirting board for a straight line, and thinking about where this line is, and it's about nearly a quarter down. It's quite low, is that horizon line. So I would pop that in, sketch that in, and that would be the horizon line, and that's where my lake edge is. And then I'm going to tell you what, I'm just going to move this across so that we can see a bit better. There we go. And so you've got a little section of these trees, so they're just literally going just like this, just moving the pencil up and down, just pushing it up and down for some trees. And then we've got another little section of trees coming down, again just moving the pencil up and down to there. And then we've got a bit of a mountain shape here coming through, so And it doesn't have to be exact. It's all, this project in some ways is about getting some washes, getting some tonal work and making a start. So that mountain comes to there, and then I've got a little bit of something coming through here. So bring them trees maybe down to there. And then we've got another mountain shape, which actually is called Robinson. And you can see it quite clearly from a lot of places in around Derwentwater. So we've got that, and then another little one which just comes through here. And that's all the mountains. And what I'm going to do is, or what I would suggest you do, if you sketch right to there, just rub it out on these little edges, there and there, these little edges, that little edge there. And what it will do, it'll stop you with your paint going right up to that edge. It'll just maybe take it to there and then soften this as I do in the video. And all of this section is softened, but by using your pencil lines to think, right, I'm going to soften here, I'm going to soften there, I'm going to soften there, I'm going to soften here. I could even take this up a little bit. So I'm just going to rub that pencil line out now, and that's where I'm going to soften. I've got a guideline here and a guideline there. So that's all it is, all nice and simple. And then I've put some posts in, and one of the things with the posts is try to get them to interlink into the background. So it's coming up into that section. So it's going to there, maybe a little one there, this one. But you don't have to do them exactly how I've done them. Bring that one maybe further down. Or you have a little one over here possibly. Just going that way a bit more, and one in the background. And if you make a mistake, just very slightly, you can just rub it out, and then you can start again. So thinking that we're going to have a little bit of, that's the furthest away, this one. Thinking about these ripples coming through, and then maybe one just into there, just instead of them all being straight. And then just take out that little line where that lakeshore is, and then we're going to have some nice little reflections possibly underneath here, and that's it. So that's as simple as how the sketch is. It's nice and easy. We only use a few colours on this. We're just using mainly shades of blue, and what we do is we put a wash behind into the sky and behind the mountains. And the reason for that, and we do all of that first, is to give the mountains a lovely glow, so that when we actually come to softening them, they've got a nice soft sort of very pale colour that can just give them a lovely glow, which is what you often get in the Lake District. So all of this is explained in the online course when you've done your painting, and it's great to see them. I love seeing the paintings when they come back. I got one back this morning, which was absolutely wonderful, really beautifully painted, and it amazes me how many talented people are out there, and you know, maybe don't dare have a go because they don't quite know what to do with the painting or the watercolours or where to start. But I try to keep it nice and simplified. So when you've done your painting, you can send me back your painting by email as a photo, and then I can have a little look, because I can sometimes see, you know, you might think something hasn't worked, which actually it maybe has, or where I can just say, you know, if you just do this or just add a little bit of something there, that is all that is needed. And it's a great sort of response to carry on the course, to, you know, for the course to sort of go forward onto the next painting, which is a lovely picture of Bleak Town that we do with different shades and adding some trees. And the course just works slowly through each project, introducing new areas and new things to paint. And with each project is a little bit of feedback. And I do think that the feedback gives confidence, because I think if you've got confidence in painting, I think you will paint better. And having your little setup, so having your watercolours all ready, all cleaned, nice water, and then you've got your brushes as well. I've got just a nice hake for this, which I use quite a lot, and you don't need many brushes. You know, I've got a little round which I use for softening, and then I sometimes use some of these for putting my main washes on, or a nice sort of round, say a number 8 or 10, and that's all you need. You don't need a great deal. A little rigger, which are ideal just for touches of detail, and that's it. You know, I can get by with just these brushes. So if you fancy doing the online course, I've put a link below, but it's just www.janeward.co.uk, and I look forward to hearing from you and starting a watercolour journey. Okay, see you next time.